Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about CBD and anxiety. Now, a lot of my customers, probably a good half of them, are using CBD to alleviate symptoms of anxiety. Now, there are many benefits for CBD for anxiety, including reduces muscle tension, stimulates the relaxing neurotransmitter, GABA, modulates the immune system, alleviates common side effects of anxiety such as insomnia or the digestive issues, and exerts a regulatory effect on the hypothalamus, responsible for regulating anxiety. So there's a bunch of a bunch of benefits for using CBD for anxiety. Now this article from dailycbd.com. It's kind of an over-encompassing guide to using CBD for anxiety, and we're going to go over it today together. Now let's go over exactly how you can use CBD for alleviating symptoms of anxiety, how it works, and what dose to take. And dose is a very, very big part of finding your sweet spot, if you will, for your type of body. We did an earlier video where I talked about bioavailability, weight, what you're currently taking. There's so many factors that go into dosing for CBD. So let's see what they talk about in this article here. Now, research done in the early 80s highlighted the differences in effects between the main psychoactive cannabinoid, THC, and the primary non-psychoactive cannabinoid, CBD. Researchers in the study reported that CBD could resist the anxiety-causing effects of THC. A double-blind clinical trial involving 4 separate groups of 10 people focused to speak publicly in front of a group of people measured the effects of 3 anti-anxiety medications. Subjects were given either 300 milligrams of CBD, 10 milligrams of diazepam, 5 milligrams of ipsaparon, or a placebo before the event. The research found that the CBD and ipsaparon groups showed the most significant benefits in anxiety symptoms before and immediately after the public speaking event. So I know for me, public speaking can definitely be a high anxiety situation. So the use of 300 milligrams of CBD is um, it's definitely for certain situations such as panic attacks and stuff like that. For milder anxiety, you definitely can get away with taking a smaller dose. But let's see. They talk about another study here using functional neuroimaging to investigate how CBD affects anxiety in the brain. The study found that CBD effectively managed anxiety symptoms in the treatment group. Neuroimaging scans showed decreased blood flow in the parahippocampal and hippocampal regions of the brain, both areas known to be heavily involved during anxiety attacks. Researchers in the study suggest that the mechanism of action for CBD was upregulation of the endocannabinoid system in the brain. CBD increases GABA activity in the brain. This is the primary neurotransmitter associated with reversing stress and anxiety response. Many of the primary medications used to treat anxiety use this mechanism as well, including benzodiazepines and barbiturates such as Xanax and diazepam. So it looks like CBD works similarly to the prescription drugs, specifically benzodiazepines and barbiturates, which makes sense. They all are targeting neurotransmitters, and the CB1 and CB2 receptors in the endocannabinoid system, they all work hand in hand. So it makes sense that CBD would be a great supplement for these other medications. All right, so step 1, find the best CBD oil for anxiety. There are so many companies in the CBD space at the moment that it can be hard to know which ones to buy. To make matters worse, many of the companies currently on the market are of poor quality. With the recent rise in the public interest for CBD supplements, it's no wonder why so many companies are manufacturing subpar products in an attempt to get their piece of the pie without having to do the rigorous quality control processes necessary to make their products, to make sure that their products are safe and effective. And yeah, this is what I stress in pretty much all of my videos. You definitely want to make sure that you're going with a good brand, a brand who labels their products correctly, has third-party lab results, lab testing, and has high potency, and the method of extraction matters as well. So CO2 extraction is the standard. Supercritical CO2 extraction is even better. That's why you see some CBD companies charge a lot for their CBD, and then some gas station or lower end CBD companies can get away with such low price. So it does matter how much you spend, because the extraction process and everything that goes into it increases the price. So high quality is definitely better than anything, in my opinion. So we've taken the liberty of doing these reviews for you, scanning through hundreds of CBD oils, capsules, tinctures, edibles, vape oils to separate the wheat from the chaff. Okay, so it looks like this article kind of goes over some specific companies. I think they do some recommendations. My recommendation is SunMed. They're actually going. You can actually get their tinctures organic, actually certified organic. So that's something new to the scene. And they're actually really great at, at increasing the standard, pretty much. They have third-party lab results, and those are available on the website. I'm sorry. When it comes to anxiety, it's especially important to make sure the products you're using are of the highest quality possible, with no heavy metals, pesticides, or microbial contaminants. This is because any of these contaminants can cause anxiety, and it isn't something you want from a product used to alleviate symptoms of anxiety. Yes, so that's where the extraction method comes into play. With the supercritical CO2 extraction method, you're not going to have any heavy metals, any pesticides, or microbial contaminants. Also, there's no solvents needed to extract, so it's a more pure end product. So it's a more pure end product, which is the best case scenario, especially when you're trying to supplement some functions in the body. Now, the only way to confirm none of these contaminants are found, basically, third-party lab testing is a must. Every company should be outsourcing their testing to a third-party facility. Now, if the company you're researching can't provide this, move along to the next one. Exactly. Without first confirming the products are safe, you have to assume it's not. There are too many contaminated CBD products out there to take a gamble. And yeah, the FDA really cracks down on these bad CBD companies. They did a study a while back that tested a bunch of CBD companies. I mentioned this in the last video, but basically a good majority, like 40%, had less than 20% of the CBD that they said they had labeled on the bottle. So there's definitely CBD companies out there taking advantage of consumers, and it's not a good thing. Now, step 2 is assessing optimal starting dosage. Now, this kind of gives a chart of daily dosage by weight and strength. It's kind of an interesting chart, and it's a good guideline for beginners. But you definitely want to start off low and increase until you get the desired effect. And that could be higher than the highest on this chart, which is 150 milligrams per day. Some people take upwards to 300 milligrams per day, depending on the severity of the anxiety, or as low as 10 milligrams a day. But this is, I would say, maybe for the average person, you can take 20 milligrams to 30 milligrams per day. I think that's a good for like a low, medium strength. High strength, anything above 50 to 100 milligrams is a good starting point. Now, step 3 is to monitor the effects of CBD. And this is kind of what I was saying just a minute ago, how you start off slow and you move up and up and up until you get the desired effect. And if you end up getting too far past the desired effect, and you might see some negative side effects like sleepiness, or some stomach issues, or maybe your stomach hurts or something like that, then you can just use less and you should be fine. Well, let's see what they say about monitoring the effects of CBD. As with many mood and neurological disorders, it's wise to keep track of your symptoms, whether trying a new supplement or medication. This gives you a starting baseline that helps you track your progress, both good and bad, to see how the new supplement or medication is working. We recommend spending a few minutes before taking CBD to answer the following questions. How is your mood on a scale of 1 to 10? How would you rate your quality of sleep? When you experience anxiety attacks, where do you rank them in severity? How is your energy on a scale of 1 to 10? What are some triggers for your anxiety symptoms? How many anxiety attacks do you have per day on average or per week? What other symptoms are you experiencing along with your anxiety? What makes your symptoms feel better? Okay, and these are really good questions to ask yourself. These are pretty much questions I asked customers that come into my store when they say they're trying to deal with anxiety. So these exact questions are very, very good questions to ask yourself. Now, after a solid month of use, go back and answer these questions again. Are there any improvements? Is anything worse? Yeah, so 30 to 60 days is a perfect window of time to figure out your CBD regimen. And if you find that it's not working, definitely you need to maybe increase your dose or talk to your doctor or a professional in the CBD space to see if you can get some advice. Now, some of the benefits of CBD supplementation may be noticeable right away, especially those related to insomnia and severity of anxiety attacks. You can expect to see the broader benefits after around a month or two. These may involve reduction in frequency of your anxiety attacks and improve in associated conditions such as depression or fatigue. All right, so when to avoid CBD for anxiety. So CBD is not for everybody, so you definitely want to talk to your doctor and see if it would be right for you. Now, it's a natural supplement, so it's going to be healthier than there's not going to be any negative. It's going to be beneficial because of it's natural. So, but there are some examples in which you should not use CBD for anxiety, and kind of list them here. If taking antipsychotic medications, you definitely don't want to do that because the antipsychotic medications generally block dopamine, and that's going to mix with the CBD because they're kind of trying to do the same thing. CBD doesn't block dopamine, but it is a neuroreceptor, and the endocannabinoid system, it all goes hand in hand, so you don't want to mix those. You definitely want to speak to your doctor if you are on antipsychotic medications before starting to use CBD, or if taking blood thinners. So that's another thing that you want not to mix with CBD. Anything with more than 0.3% THC, as THC may make anxiety symptoms worse. Yeah, in my opinion, I would say 0 THC. Now, most products have in the United States, the legal limit of THC for it to be legal is 0.3. So most companies will try to get to that 0.3 so that they can say that they have THC. However, broad spectrum products have zero THC, just like this one right here from SunMed, and you won't have any of the anxiety side effects from the THC in the system. So I think that's better. In combination with bipolar disorder or mania, unless monitored by a physician. So yeah, just make sure you're talking to your doctor. Because I'm not a doctor, I'm just kind of reading this article and we're kind of learning together new things. So definitely want to make sure that you are consulting a doctor, and because we want to help, we want to make sure you feel better, and we want to make sure you have more options than just taking prescription drugs. And that's it for the video today. I really wanted to go over anxiety because I have a lot of customers that come in seeking help for anxiety. So I kind of wanted to have this video to kind of have a gloss over on that as a whole, just as some extra information. So if you have any other questions, definitely ask them in the comments section below. I'll be free to answer any of those questions for you guys. And if you like the video, please like, please subscribe. Definitely helps the channel out a lot. But I'm doing daily videos for the next month or two, so definitely stay tuned for those. There's going to be more CBD education. We're going to be talking about more ailments, more studies, because studies come out every day with positive results for CBD, and that's exciting. So, but thank you guys for watching and listening to me today, and you have a wonderful day. All right, bye.